Why did we decide to open an MMA gym? We don't know if Qatar chose us or we chose Qatar, UFC, but there was an opportunity to have this franchise here, and we've been approached by the UFC GYM Middle East to have an opportunity to open a few facilities here in Qatar. So once we studied the model of the fitness, and there's so many different type of gyms, right? So what differentiates what makes UFC special is, number one, it's UFC. It's not another gym. And number two, you have literally 3 gyms in one. If you consider community from the bodybuilding world can use the facility. We have classes called DUT, which is functional high intensity, which can attracts the high intensity people that are into high intensity. And then you have the MMA section, where you have people from the Muay Thai world, from the BJJ world, from the MMA world. So all those facilities and under one roof, and with kids especially, it makes perfect sense. I believe the reason why it's popular is because of people like Conor McGregor, Khabib, John Jones, DC. I think the sport has gone to mainstream television and pay-per-view, and it's really appealing to the grassroots of youth right now. So you can see the popularity in the sport growing, especially when it comes to UFC. And now you have Bellator, you have One Champion. So you can see different organizations that are hosting these fights and displaying and showcasing these professional fighters. And to be honest, ever since history of mankind, fighting has been entertainment. So it's very entertaining, and it's capturing the audience and the general population. Every culture is different, whichever region you go. And the thing about sports is, no matter what background you have, where you come from, the training remains the same. Whether you're doing BJJ, Muay Thai, boxing, kickboxing, the training is going to be the same. Only question is based on where you go in the world, is the quality of facilities, quality of instructors, what kind of structure is in place. That just differentiates, but culture definitely has nothing to do with MMA or the style of the sport. One specific coach, I can't mention his name, but I said, but you're doing very well at your gym, why do you want to join UFC? And he's like, look, it's like going from a local team to Barcelona. You know, he's like, UFC is it's a brand. MMA is not more popular than soccer or football. In this region, football is king right now. So even myself, as being a former basketball player, football is MMA. Football is the sport. But MMA is fast and growing. It's very popular. And you can see in the last 5 years, the amount of MMA gyms and jiu-jitsu and that's opening in the country has been amazing. And to be honest, 2020, when UFC came to Abu Dhabi, you can see Qatar became second highest pay-per-view Arabia viewership. So that gives you an idea of how popular the sport is. That is just a matter of time before it reaches the same peak as USA and Europe, and just like FIFA World Cup, nobody thought would ever happen here, and arguably I think it's the greatest one yet. So I think it's not just Arabian countries. I think MMA is growing at a very fast pace all over the world, and that has to do with it's a little bit different than other sports, as opposed to boxing. Boxing is not as appealing anymore because you don't see the best fighting the best anymore. It all comes down to business between promoters, and where MMA is, if you're top ranked and you're second ranked, you guys are going to be fighting the next day. So you can see the popularity of MMA because every night it's the best versus the best.